Well, hello everyone, and today we've got the first day of our free shipping weekend that's just starting. And so what I decided to do is to do live Q&As with you guys about supplements. We always get a lot of questions about supplements. I'm going to address some of those commonly asked questions that we get regularly in our emails, on our forums, as well as maybe walk you through a few supplements that I think might be really helpful for you to explore potentially. And then we'll just wait for your questions and see what questions do you guys have. So pop them in here, and then I will jump to it. So I'm just gonna start off with some of the more common questions that we have about supplements, and also maybe I want to talk a little bit about what are the things to look out for in supplements, like when you're buying, from other brands. I just want to make sure my microphone it's working. It's actually properly adjusted. So pop in your questions and see how I can help you here today. So our free shipping weekend ends on Sunday, at the end of Sunday. So you have a few days to decide what you want to do. And we're basically dropping the minimum purchase value of $67. So if there is one supplement that you want to consider getting, that you've been eyeing for a while, but you haven't done it yet, then consider doing it maybe now. Maybe don't charge you for shipping. Shipping is a funny thing, because especially in the United States, it's like everything is free shipping, and we almost assume like it's not a real cost. And as a business owner, let me just tell you, it's a very real cost. And so we are, we have warehousing fees, we have storage fees, we have handling fees, packaging fees, USPS fees, etc. Alicia is asking about restocking. So yeah, we are out of magnesium. Our number one selling product is Magnesium Replenish. That is going to be back in the middle of May. So if you basically enter your email then on that page, then you can get notified when it's going to be back in stock. It's a very popular product, and when we launched our book, we basically sold out on a number of different things, and that's included. So let me, while I'm waiting for your questions to come in, I'm just going to talk about a couple of supplements that might be interesting for you to explore. So speaking of Magnesium Replenish is our number one selling product, and it's in the form of magnesium, excuse me, it's a magnesium glycinate. It's the highest bioavailability of magnesium that you find in the market. And so, but there's another one that has got a very high bioavailability. So it's a very high quality magnesium in a malate form. So the magnesium molecule is attached to a malic acid, okay? And that's a pretty awesome type of magnesium. We have what's called Mag Energy, and that's a very energizing form of magnesium. Do not take it at night because it can energize you so much so you won't be able to sleep. I actually discovered it the hard way, where I could not, I started taking this magnesium a few years ago when we first started formulating it. And I just could not sleep till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what is going on? And I generally don't have a problem falling asleep. If I have a sleeping problem, it's like waking in the middle of the night, I can't go back to sleep. So I was talking to the formulator, and I said, I don't know what's going on, but I just can't sleep. And she says, what kind of magnesium have you been taking? I'm like, malate. And she's like, oh no, that's what's causing it. So that was a big lesson. It can be energizing for some, but not for everyone. So just generally, we don't recommend to do it at night. It's a great form of magnesium to take first thing in the morning. It's also a wonderful way of doing magnesium when you are exercising, because it does help you with your electrolyte balance. And a lot of studies show the role of magnesium malate in recovery of athletes. So if you're exercising in the morning, taking it before or after exercising can be a really great idea. Do you have a liquid magnesium? We do have a liquid magnesium that is topical. I don't have it on the table here right now. It's called Quick Magnesium. It's suspended in aloe, and what it is, you're applying it on places that really hurt, where you have a lot of tension or restless leg syndrome. A lot of people at night can't go to sleep because they're having all sorts of pains and aches. And so that's really great magnesium to apply. You just need 20 minutes for it to be absorbed, that you can go and wash it off. Some people find that it's kind of stingy on the skin. And I think it's written on the label, but I think it's quarter of a teaspoon. A teaspoon gives you 200 milligrams of magnesium, 20 minutes absorption time. So that's a really cool magnesium to apply as well. Especially when you're having body pains and aches and tension. Once in a while, I have a running pain I had a hip replacement 3 years ago, and very occasionally when I stop doing yoga, I have a running pain from the top of my hip all the way down, and it's not a fun pain, and I can't go to sleep with that because it's almost like a restless leg kind of pain. And then I'll apply magnesium along my leg, and like literally within 5 minutes it goes away. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so another oral liquid. Okay, so another form of a supplement that I want to talk about is that it's really popular with our communities. One of our top sellers as well. We do have stock on. It's called Wise Women Balance. It's a pretty cool formula because this helps both women who are both in perimenopausal, menopausal, when you're dealing with things like hot flashes, a lot of menopausal symptoms, right? Night sweats. But also if you're having period problems, this formula can help both the demographics and both the symptoms. And the part of the magic that is the reason why that happens is that a few things. One is that it's got high amounts of vitamin B6. So it really gives you, and B6, by the way, is a really wonderful B vitamin that helps you with production of a lot of neurotransmitters, including serotonin and dopamine. So those are your neurotransmitters that will help you with things like depression, a lot of different addictive behavior, sleeping problems, right? And so, just overall happiness, anxiety, depression, all can stem from neurotransmitters. So then we also have folate, we have B12, so it's great for energy. We have a little bit of magnesium malate, just 50 milligrams, so that's not a lot, but it's somewhat energizing. We have chaseberry extract, so that's Vitex, and Vitex can be really helpful with helping you produce your own endogenously produce, so internally, your own internal production of progesterone. That's really an awesome one. We also have black cohosh, which is very well documented to help hot flashes. We have broccoli leaf extract as well as DIM, so that helps you with estrogen metabolism. So really, a really wonderful formula. And when you look at some of the reviews that we have, Brittany, if we can maybe bring on the page for Wise Women Balance and show some of the reviews on the supplement, it's actually really pretty sweet. So, it's kind of small to see. Is there a way you can make your screen a little bit bigger? Okay, let's see if that works. Yeah, my periods have been more regular, somebody says, and I do not sweat overnight. No more night sweats. Melanie is saying, Sherry's saying, Wise Women Balance is my favorite product, helps me feel more balanced and less perimenopausal symptoms or issues is lessened significantly. Let's just take one more. Great hormone support. So it's been taking for 3 weeks. I've been similar products from other manufacturer, and this one seems to be working with my body. Everything I said caused me to feel unbalanced. Okay. Yeah, cool. So Fafa is asking, do you ship to the UK? Unfortunately, we do not, but you can sign up to a service called myus.com. So myus.com, and then forward shipping that to yourself. The thing is that I would suggest, since you're paying for shipping in their service, then do pick up a few supplements you like from us, and then and then it's worth your while. I think don't do it for one supplement. That wouldn't make much sense. Michelle is asking, how long does it take for Wise Women Balance to work or to see a difference? Yeah, so it all depends on a person, right, and how much of an imbalance you have in the body. I would say it can vary. Anything between, like, if you just give it a month or two, I think that's really a good period of time to be fair to your body. And I will say, you guys always remember that these supplements work a lot better when you make diet adjustments as well. And in my latest book, Overcoming Estrogen Dominance, if you follow those protocols, embark on the elimination diet, reduce the inflammation in the body, you will feel that these supplements work a lot faster and better when you combine it with a really good diet. Is the offer available to Canadians? Sue is asking. No, unfortunately, Sue. Supplements are, just to let you guys know, supplements are notoriously difficult to ship overseas. Customs are basically, every country has got different custom requirements. They keep changing. And so we tried doing that, and it was a total disaster. We've ended up having a lot of returns, and customers were not happy. We were not happy. So it was just, and I'm so sorry. But what you can do, check out our website on like quality of supplements, and I'm going to talk a little bit about quality of supplements, what to look out for. and then go and search for it in your local country. Canada has got a lot of really nice, great options. I don't know what the brands are, but you guys have a lot of nice co-ops and chains that are really clean and can be trusted. So like, for example, I talked about magnesium, right? Magnesium malate, magnesium glycinate are the two types of magnesium you want to be taking every day. And but one type of magnesium you don't want to be taking is magnesium oxide. So that's one to avoid, right? So that's like a simple little thing that you can find right away when you are shopping for supplements, and to know the quality of a supplement. Another one that I want to just highlight bring your attention to is D3. So we reformulated our D3. It used to be in a liquid form. We ended up doing that in a capsule now, just because many of you have been saying that you don't like the liquid, and I totally hear you. I hear you, and so we changed it to capsules, and they're all suspended in oil, as you can see here. The cool thing about our formulation is this D3 also comes with K1 and K2 in there, and that helps not only your bone health, but it also helps with the absorption of D3. Now we are going into summer months, and so I've written a lot about about sun exposure and vitamin D, and so when it comes to summer, I definitely recommend for you to spend a lot of time in the sun, 15 to 20 minutes a day. If you're in the northern hemisphere, we're not going to get the sun has to be at a certain angle hitting if this is the earth and this is the sun, the rays have to hit the ground at a certain angle, and we are not there yet. So we are right now, I'm recording this in April, we are still 2 months away from from June, July, August is the 3 months in northern hemisphere that you're going to be getting that. If you're in a tropical country, that's not an issue, but it is right now. Like, for example, in Colorado, where I am, sitting out in the sun right now is just going to get me burnt. It's not going to help with that vitamin D3. So getting your vitamin D3, really important. Brittany, let's pull out the slide again that you had about the benefits of D3. So really there is regulates multiple organ systems. So your hormones, your bone health depends on the vitamin D3, K1 and K2, not just calcium, you guys. There's also magnesium, is also manganese, boron, gastrointestinal health, nervous system, skin. A lot of people have a lot of more depression when they are deficient in vitamin D3. People with thyroid, Hashimoto's disease are infamously low in vitamin D3. And when you do your testing, make sure you are above 60, whatever is the unit right now, I'm forgetting. And so, your labs will show you I think it's 20 is sufficient, especially if you have a history of autoimmunity, like I do, Hashimoto's disease, hypothyroidism, you want to be in a range of 60 to 80. So that's something to be mindful of and to know. Would a vegan, AmySue is asking, would a vegan diet help with estrogen dominance program? Work with, okay. Well, we do have a lot of, we have some meat recipes in there. So as long as you modify it, that should work. So another one I want to mention, which is really kind of super cool, is vitamin C. So we have one that's called vitamin C burst. And what I like about vitamin C, about our formulation, is that we've got both ascorbic acid, but we also have acerola, which is my favorite berry. It's a berry that's what's unripe. It's got the highest levels of vitamin C. And we also have some bioflavonoids in it in order to increase the absorption of the vitamin C. So really nice product. Vitamin C, a lot of us think of vitamin C as being for the immune system, and that's true. Before you get sick, it actually can help. When you get sick, it's too late. But the other function of vitamin C, which a lot of women don't realize, and I've discovered it firsthand during COVID, is that I upped my vitamin C levels because of COVID. And in vitamin C, in terms of dosage, you want to go up to the point where you get a loose stool and then you back off. So everybody's dose will be a little different. Yours will be different from mine. If you are very depleted in vitamin C, you have a lot of stress going on, you have not been eating a diet that's rich in vitamin C, then you're probably depleted. And then you want to dose up until you get a loose stool and then you back off, right? And you might end up with maybe 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C, where, for example, I might need only 800 before I get a loose stool. So that's how you determine the dosage of vitamin C. The cool thing about vitamin C, and like I was beginning to say, I discovered during COVID time, is that I opted because of COVID as a prevention. And then what happened was my luteal phase, which had been getting shorter and shorter, because I am entering menopause. So from time of my period, from my ovulation to my period, instead of having full 14 days, it started getting shorter and shorter. I went down to like 10 days, sometimes 9 days, there were sometimes 7 days, right? So significantly lower. And typically luteal phase gets shorter in your perimenopause because your progesterone starts dropping. So, and then by taking higher doses of vitamin C, my progesterone went back up. And then I went to a full cycle of 28 days, 29 days, right? So this just shows you how powerful vitamin C alone can be, also to help you regulate your hormones, bring up your progesterone levels, which then can help you with a lot better sleep, with less anxiety, with regulating your cycles, improving your PMS. And this is beyond all the immune protecting abilities that it has. There is one or two things I'll show more. Let's see what other questions, and pop your questions, you guys. And then, and if you're not watching this live, then pop it in, and I'll try to go over the weekend and take a quick look and see what I can answer. One other thing, what about magnesium citrate? Fafa is asking. Yeah, so magnesium citrate has got a decent absorbability, not the greatest. The reason, so we sell it in our store, but I am not a biggest fan of of citrate, magnesium citrate, to replenish your magnesium levels, because it is a very, it gives you basically a loose stool. So it can be great at relieving constipation, relaxing the bowels, but it does draw the water out of the colon. And so you end up basically with a loose stool. And so to me, citrate is not the best form of magnesium to replenish your levels. I know magnesium calm is something that a lot of people take to calm down. You don't have to take magnesium citrate to calm down. You can take any form other than malate, okay? My favorite, and I recommend, is magnesium glycinate. That's the one that we unfortunately sold out right now. And so if you want to be notified when it's back in stock, then you can see this on our website, and we notify you. It should be somewhere in the middle of May. One other thing I want to just quickly mention is our Digestive Bitters, which we have just launched. And who here has tried our Digestive Bitters, our before and after? So you can buy one or the other, or you can buy them together. When you buy them together, then you also get this little cute sachet, this organic, fair trade, organic cotton sachet. So Digestive Bitters, I'm so passionate about them because they really can, I mean, a lot of people think of them as being digestive aid, and that's very true, and that's why I formulated them, but there's a lot more to them. So Digestive Bitters tend to also help your parasympathetic nervous system, so they actually calm down your digestion. And a calm digestion is a good working digestion, meaning you extract a lot more nutrients from the food that you're digesting. They also help, like one of them, the before contains ginger. Ginger stimulates the movement called peristalsis, which is the movement of the colon, and then, not just the colon, of the whole GI tract. And that's what moves the food along from your stomach all the way to you poop it out, right? So this is another reason why a lot of people who do our Digestive Bitters say that their digestion has improved a lot, so much so they have no more constipation, which is pretty awesome. The other thing is that it balances blood sugar levels. So that's something that a lot of people don't realize. And so that's the reason why I formulated that to be, this is the before. So let me just get this bottle aligned with my monitor. There we go. So this is the before a meal. So before a meal. And this is your after a meal. There you go. So they are slightly different from each other. Before is a little bit stronger in terms of the bitter profile is slightly stronger. But hey, you guys, who here has tried it? We don't have a huge audience live right now, but I'm just curious who here has tried our Digestive Bitters, because most Digestive Bitters you try, they're like, you spray it or whatever, you drop it in your mouth and it's like, ugh. So, it's like, oh man, this is terrible, right? And ours, because we've added some glycerin to it, just a tiny bit, it really rounded off the whole taste, and so much so that it tastes actually really, really nice. So you just spray it. We do this as spray. Almost tastes like a little bit of a bubble gum, but it's all really nice herbs. And then the after is slightly sweeter, and it's got more of that sort of, like for those of you who've been to an Indian restaurant and you're given like things like fennel and star anise, or some like what's the other one, cumin to munch on, right? And that's a digestive aid that kind of helps your digestion after a meal. So we formulated the after, so it's very warming. It has the same kind of carminative function, but it also helps you. It's slightly sweeter. It's got like cloves in here, fennel, so that when you use it, like you don't feel like having a dessert after a meal. So basically, it's like a digestive aid, but it's also like, oh, I don't need my sugar anymore because this is kind of sweet. Yeah. Okay. So I think we've covered it. Oh, actually, I'm just going to talk about one more because that's actually one of my favorite products. Morning Ritual is a really cool electrolyte formula you do first thing in the morning. And Brittany, if we could pull out maybe some quotes from the sales page and see what people are saying. But basically, it's a really cool. It tastes really, really good. It's whenever I do it first thing in the morning. And it's in a powder form. So you basically, with your water, you put a teaspoon in your water first thing in the morning, and you just drink it up. And so it's so energizing. I just can't tell you, and it tastes really good. So it comes in just a powder form like this. So all you do is just a scoop like that in a glass of water, dilutes right away, and then it just gives you like this really nice pick me up. It's also highly alkalizing. And which alkalinity is a really great one. So somebody saying, JG saying, very hydrating, great taste. I tend to be thirsty in the morning. This rehydrates me. It also has a great lemon taste. I also like knowing that I'm starting the day with important vitamins and minerals. So let's take a look at some other ones. I noticed an increase of energy first thing in the morning. I took Morning Ritual. The next day, it dipped down, maybe because I'm excited the first day. But if you continue doing that, it's going to be a consistent thing. And this also depends on your sleep, right? I just got in, and I can already see a positive difference. Yeah, so I love the taste in my Morning Ritual, and become a great addiction in my morning routine. So as you can see, I mean, there is a really nice reviews on that, and just people feel energized. I mean, if I was to put one word for it, it's just highly energizing. I'm just gonna do last question here before we wrap up. Amy's asking, would digestive bitters be a good replacement for hydrochloric acid? So it's so you need to test it out. So that's a good question, because digestive bitters work very differently. Digestive bitters, like for example the before, which tends to be a little bit more on the bitter side. A lot of times when I'm doing a demo with the digestive bitters and I'm talking, right, I have to actually shut up and stop talking, because I have so much saliva in my mouth when I spray it, and I immediately want to talk about it, right? And next thing I know, I'm choking. And it's like so many times I've done videos here with you guys and other places, and I'm like, right? And then it's a bad impression too, because then you guys are probably thinking like, oh my God, she's choking on her own product. Must be pretty bad. It's actually really good, but the thing is that it creates so much saliva, right, that I'm choking on my saliva. But here's the thing: it's bitter stimulate your whole digestive system from your mouth all the way to your anus, right? So it's the same thing. What then they do is they kind of encourage your own stomach to produce your own hydrochloric acid. And for some people, just doing digestive bitters is good enough. But in full honesty, it might not be enough for everyone. So you have to test it out, get off hydrochloric acid, do digestive bitters, and see if it helps you, if it's sufficient. If it's not, you might want to do this digestive bitters and then combine it with a little bit less of hydrochloric acid, because your body will stop producing its own when you're doing digestive bitters. As we age, we produce less and less hydrochloric acid. And so anyway, I'm really glad, Amy, that you were doing hydrochloric acid, because a lot of people are afraid of it, thinking that that's what causes acid reflux, but it's actually the opposite. Acid reflux is actually caused by low stomach acid. So interesting, huh? All right, you guys. All right, one more. Does free shipping apply to Amla Cleanser? I'm loving it. Yes, it does, Rock. It does. So, yes. Okay. Thanks, everyone, and happy shopping till end of Sunday. We have our free shipping. Just head over to welena.com and hopefully you find something that you have been eyeing for a while. Maybe that one product that you have not been wanting to get, and so that's your chance now of not paying shipping this time around. All right, thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.